Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and enemies and comrades, karibu, karibu, karibu. Public participation. We are about to have a public participation. So if you are going to see this notification and you want to join in and give your view on the matters that is happened today, or Saba historically, any issue regarding Kenyan politics, as you know, this channel is dedicated to Kenyan politics. Please feel free to join in. You can start by liking immediately you see this video, and if you haven't subscribed, you can go ahead and subscribe. Sorry, my sound wasn't that good, but as I was saying, my name is Kenyan Revolution. If you don't know by now, I'm going to have a open session. I'm going to drop the link for anyone and everybody who wants to get in and comment on the current situation in Kenyan politics. If you want to say something about the Saba, any kind of issue you want to feel that you had to air, please, karibu. I'm dropping the link in a second. But the first order of business, as you know, as soon as you see this video, please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hurry up, subscribe. Just don't sit back and listen. Be part of the community. Okay, so let's get started. I will get started. It is public participation, open session for anybody regarding Saba and anything else. Let's watch this video very quickly as I get started, and I'll drop the link as I play the video. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready, guys? All right, go ahead and like. I'm giving you a few seconds to get it together. I know you maybe just got to set the notification and you're not ready yet, but I'll give you a few minutes just to gather yourself. Get in, log in. Let's see what is popping. Okay, karibu sana, karibu. Like, karibu, and subscribe. Don't not waste any time. We are getting started. Let me start with the first video that I just want to highlight before I even put the Nino up so we can start our discussion. Our discussion will begin shortly. Let me find the link. But here it is. Let me play some video. That's kind of is going to drive our conversation.
It's about money. Hizi pesa unatoa kila siku and have removed if they can kill innocent people, take them home. Hakuna ti wanakaa huku Kanairo. They go home totally nyumbani. And the other thing is about money. Hizi pesa unatoa kila siku and have removed 10 million from the Ministry of Education, 10 million of hizi pesa unatenga state house unakula na bibi yako unatuchocha sisi. We are not fools. We are Gen Z. Atuzi uoga sisi. We are waiting for you, Mr. Ruto. Whether you like it, you will talk to us. If you don't talk to us, this is the 2027 election. We are going to vote, and we know the person we are going to give. Kama utacheza safe na akili zako ambayo ziko 100%, you will see the 2027. But kama una ndugu yangu, kama uta to face and talk to us ana kwa ana, you listen to us. Finance bill ulicheza chini lakini haukusaini. Ulicheza chini na pia sisi tumecheza low. Unaona 20 speed. Ile unacheza vile tunacheza. Ukituambia umesign withdraw, well and good. Hapo tunajua umeanza kucheza safe. Don't tell us withdraw and you haven't signed. Hatuna any habari about that. Sisi pia tumecheza chini. But please, kutoa watu Uganda, Tanzania kukuja kuiba Kenya. Alafu you are calling at Gen Z the thieves. We are not thieves. Maandamano nilianzisha na nilikuwa, I was there. But mimi hakuna mtu aliguza kitu ya mtu. Isipokuwa wezi umeanza kuleta juzi wakuja kwa maandamano yetu kuiba, kuvunja duka za watu, kuumiza watu. We are telling you, Mr. President, work on that and we are here. Na tuogopi na tuzi uoga. Sisi ni wale wa. Nitengoza mgoje.
All right, you saw the part of the Gen Z. The guy said, you know, I've been involved in Mandamano and hautaniuzia uoga, sisi hatuogopi, Mr. President. We are not playing around with you. We shall deal with you. Kuja uongee na sisi. I guess he's saying he wants to be addressed by the president. I don't understand. But anyway, anyone who wants to get in, please get in. The time is here now. I'll give it open session. If you want to get in, get in. It is free for all for free. Okay, free for all for free. Okay, you can get in and tell us what you think about what's going on. All right, somebody also posted something that was very interesting, that I felt was very interesting, that we need to remind people. I see a lot of people who have been posting about Matiang'i. Well, somebody, hey, alitukumbusha The Matiangi days were not fun. They were not fun. He was actually more brutal than. To be fair, the previous regime was more brutal than Ruto. Believe it or not, they were more brutal than Ruto. I know. Yeah. But anyway, here's somebody who posted something to remind us of what kind of leader Matiangi was. I know some people are saying, oh, Matiangi he was competent, he can help, he's the best. No. Matiangi. Pole sana, pole, not Matiangi. Okay, so here's the extrajudicial killings and police brutality cases under Fred Matiangi. Watch. The people who died. Kianjo Koma brothers, Caroline Mwatha, Masimba 4, Samuel Maina, John Muli, Yasin Moyo, Baby Mora, Baby Pendo, 40 Yala River bodies. Whitney Atieno, James Murithi, Carl Vance Omondi, Ramadan Juma, David Kiiru, Ibrahim Onyango, Carlton Maina, Eric Ngede, Peter Gasheru, and Vaite. These are people who died under Matiangi's watch. So when people say Matiangi was such a great leader, let's get him to be the president or whatever the case is. Please put that usiendele mbele. Please. Don't. I'm telling you, don't start us with Matiangi. Please. Please. Don't. Matiangi, these guys was more brutal than anybody else. But anyway, there was what was it? A friend. Oh, excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and like and subscribe. As you know the deal, you know the drill. Karibuni. Usiogope. We are going to discuss. We are having a discussion. Saba. Now, I see a lot of discussion. People are talking about how to remove Ruto. I think we've already talked about that, but I will touch on it a little bit. Because I feel like it's something that's worth addressing. People are still thinking about going through Parliament, put pressure on Parliament, get Parliament to bring a motion to impeach Ruto. Parliament shall do whatever we want because they seems to be sorry now because we are putting pressure on them, so they are acting as if they are sorry. No. You cannot rely on this Parliament. Parliament is a long gone case. They're gone. Don't count. You can't count on the Parliament to actually remove Ruto. You cannot do that. Greetings to the host, Rene Black. Karibu sana. Nice seeing you. Sylvester Waiter. That is how you'll lose followers, beginning with now leave Matiangi out of your discussion. I'm not looking for followers, my friend. You're more than free to leave. I will stick to my guns. Fuck Matiangi. And I repeat that. You can take that to the bank. Fuck Matiangi. And that's how I feel. So if you feel offended, you feel free to unsubscribe. I'm not here to massage anybody's ego. I'm speaking how I feel, and that's how I feel. If you want to defend him, you're more than welcome. Get to the studio and tell me why you like him. I don't like him. I wish him I wish him the worst, a slow, painful death. So fuck Matiangi. So yeah. Anyway, I'll get on with it. Here's Saba that happened. Here it is. Here is Saba that happened. Yes, out of 15 minutes.
Well, a very good afternoon and welcome to this edition of KTN Weekend at 1 this lovely Sunday. Thank you so much for staying with us.
Absolutely.
My name is Grace Nganga. Let's begin. Now, July 7th, commonly known as Saba and traced back to 1990 during the clamor for multi-party politics, is set to be the center of focus of the ongoing Gen Z protest as they assemble in churches and later on hold a concert at Uhuru Park in honor of the lives lost during the anti-tax protest. This coming even after the president faced Kenyans' fury in a rare X Space meeting on Friday. Let's now link up with Fred Kagonye, who is at Uhuru Park. Kagonye, good afternoon. What is the current situation there?
Good afternoon, Grace. We are coming to you live from Uhuru Park, where a concert will be held in commemoration of the deaths of the people who were killed during the anti-tax demonstrations that have rocked the country for the last 3 weeks or so. It began as a movement on X, and then it moved to the streets, and then we saw protesters come out in big numbers 3 weeks ago, and then Tuesday last week we saw the protesters made their way to Parliament, among the many things that they did. And then as that continued to grow, we saw the infiltration of the protest and by goons. But today, the reason as to why it has been held today is because 7th of July is a very, very pivotal moment for Kenya's history. And we are joined by activist Boniface Mwangi, who is behind part of the team who organized this concert, and let us listen to him.
Actually murdered by the police, and want to celebrate their sacrifice to this country. That's why we're here today.
Okay. And what do we expect today?
We have a big lineup of artists. We're going to get family members of those who we lost to come and speak to the country.
How have you managed to put this together, given that the idea began on Twitter and on X? How have you been able to put it very fast and
All right. Sorry. Thank you so much. Anyway, I was back I was just saying they were having this whole I hope I'm audible now. I've unmuted. Yeah. We were having this concert. This concert was held, sorry, let me just say that, but the Gen Zs and many others, freedom lovers, to commemorate the death of the lives that was lost during the Mandamanos from last Tuesday up to date. I think 41 people died or more. So that is what the concert was all about. And the thing is, we cannot run away from what has happened. This is not a bipartisan thing. When somebody dies, one death is one too many, okay? We cannot sit here and act like, okay, just because people died, it's okay to name, to remember the people who died under Ruto's regime, but not remember the people that died in the previous regime who are doing the very things that Nani is doing, Ruto is doing. It's all the same. Police brutality is police brutality. People died, whether it's under this regime or the previous regimes. So when some of you want to be partisan, or maybe you feel because your tribal leader was responsible while others died, so you are catching feelings, I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and act like, sugarcoat things when it just happened. Okay? I'm sorry. I remember how nasty this Matiang'i guy was. He was just as nasty. I don't know if you remember, And what really gets me with Matiang'i is Baby Pendo and Baby Mora. I think it was Baby Pendo who, I don't know if you remember, this child was playing in her balcony. She did not know anything about politics. She was out there playing in her parents' balcony, and the police shot her to death. This was a toddler, okay, that died under the instructions of Matiang'i. So if you come here and trying to tell me that Matiang'i is fit to be president and is a fucking minister that should be leading Kenya, you can fuck off. I'm not buying it. We are not going to sugarcoat. The same thing we are holding Ruto responsible for these deaths of Rex and others is the same justice we shall use to jail Matiang'i and Uhuru Kenyatta and the rest of them. Okay? So let's not be partisan here or be tribal. We are going to be very, 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 very objective. Okay? To me, it touched me personally because a baby was shot. Baby Pendo and Baby Mora. And somebody has the audacity to put a picture of Matiang'i telling us that he should be the next president, along with Martha Karua, who's irredeemably corrupt. Okay? So I'm not going to have that. I'm not going to have. We can agree. I've been touting Tata's name, and I'm so happy that finally he's receiving his flowers. He's receiving his flowers. People are finally recognizing that this man actually fought for Kenya, has always fought for the constitution, has always, okay? While he never got all the accolades by people giving him, showering him with gifts or plaudits or whatever the case is, or not being in the magazine as Agwambo Tibim and all that nonsense. He always stood by the constitution. Okay? Those are the leaders that we look. I don't care if Tata is a Luo or a lawyer or whatever the case is, but his record for fighting for the interest of the people of Kenyans, upholding the constitution. He told the president in his face that the constitution is a bigger friend and my greatest friend than our friendship. That is the kind of man that we need, and is always fighting for Kenyans. Even if no one is looking, he does that. Okay? So we're not going to play games. We are not going to play games. We are going to be real with it. Yeah? Kama ukweli is too much, I'm sorry. Here we do not apologize about the truth. But anyway, the discussion has been the discussion that we've been talking about here. I see Cyprian Nyakudi had an X-Space meeting where people were discussing how they can remove Ruto. And it's something that we've explored here. We've talked about how if we should focus on the parliament or Ruto himself. And if you want to remove Ruto, how will we remove him? Should we depend on these very parliamentarians to bring a motion of to impeach him? Or should we first impeach these guys, these MPs first, then work our way up? But in order to all that to happen, we have to have an IBC. We have till Tuesday. Ruto told us that by Tuesday, they shall have, they have a whatever bill. I was in there. There's a there's a bill, amendment bill, IBC amendment bill that should be assented by the president to law on Tuesday. So we should be having a law that is in place, IBC, on how IBC should be reconstituted. So I'm assuming in the next few months we should be having a new IBC. So then we can start a process of recalling these MPs that we do not like. Maybe we can start working on that. That is what some people are suggesting, that let's wait for this IBC. But I asked this question yesterday on my live, and I asked this. I said, okay, what exactly are they amending from the IBC Act that we currently have now? What are they changing? What is new? Because from my understanding, the proposal, the amendment that they wanted from the IBC Act that is in place now was something that was agreed upon, which was part of the NADCO proposal, which I am not comfortable with. That's why I kept on asking, why are we not having public participation on this IBC amendment bill? Why is nobody talking about it? Because we are going to decide, they are going to decide how and who is going to look after the elections, okay? When we vote, will our votes count, or are they going to choose some shoddy people, dodgy individuals who will give Ruto and his minions votes to maintain power? That is what I'm talking about. So that is my concern. While we are going to having an IBC, but how is that process going to be undertaken? Okay, that is my worry. We can't just be happy, or we are going to have an IBC, yes, and the third, okay? So if we have a referee who is corrupt, what do you think the outcome will be? Because if we have a corrupt IBC, that means the very people who we want to see out, the MPs that we despise, we don't like, shall rig themselves back to office and will be back to the streets. Okay, so that is what I was talking about, but nobody seems to be paying attention about this. Yes. So Gio is telling me, I think how is the most part of the subject of that subject here. Yes, how? Yes, and we will know that once. That's the unfortunate thing, that we might only find out after they've passed it and it's law. Where was the discussion process where we were supposed to discuss it? Okay, where is the in your public participation? Did they go to this machinani and told us, hey, this is what we're changing? You know, yeah. So yeah, yes. While we have pressure, but you know that the devil is always on the details. The devil is always the details. Just Gio, just to give you an example that everybody else that's watching, it is just as the example that I gave about Ninio. Just the perfect example is with the Ninio finance bill. Yes, majority of us went to the streets and said, we do not want this finance bill in its entirety. It should be rejected. Reject finance bill. So Ruto akafanya ujanja kajifanya, yeah, I'm not going to sign it into law, so I'm taking it back to the parliament, knowing very well that this thing, even if it's not signed by the president, after 14 days, it will become law. So he's banking on our ignorance. Okay, at least for some of us, not all of us. He's banking on that. Okay, so really he didn't do anything about the finance bill. That's why I said, if he's serious about rejecting this finance bill, he should have called a meeting and called the sponsor of that bill and tell him, hey, listen, withdraw that finance bill in its totality. Okay, na tutatue maneno. Let's go back to the budget and see how we can change the budget and all that stuff. To watch him mchezo. But he never did that. He just said, oh, I'm not going to sign it. It's going back to the parliament. Now anacheza hii mchezo wa paka na panya, which means he's not even listening to us. He's just playing games. And it's the same thing I'm talking about, this IBC thing. Because on Tuesday, we'll wake up shocked at the news. Looking at the Ninio, they'll probably choose, I don't know, crap, Uhuru Kenyatta to be the IBC chairperson. Okay? Or fucking whatever. Matiang'i for fuck's sakes. Okay? Then we'll find ourselves in the same boat that we were in before, or whatever the case is. I'm just saying, if you're not paying attention to these things, we are not going to actually liberate ourselves. The same thing. I'm glad even the person who asked my Nini Mwangi Boniface, he asked him, hey, how did you get the money from this place? And you see how he kind of dance around that question. They'll be like, don't, you're focusing on the wrong thing. It was Kenyan people's money and my money, and we put it together and we just find out where this money is coming from. That's why I ask. I'm supporting the majority of Kenyans who are saying Ruto must go. I support that. But we should also be careful and ask ourselves, who are really financing these movements? Because we might have our own goals, but we are being taken for a ride. Because we unafikiria tunataka Ruto atoke, kumbe nyinyi you are part, mmeshapangwa. You're fighting somebody else fight. And at the end, mtajiangalia, you were like, oh, shoot, what happened? Yeah? So it's very possible because of most of these people, as much as you might think they are, whatever, I don't trust them. I really don't trust them. I do not trust anybody, anyone, except somebody who has a track record like Okiya Mtata, who has shown to be a valiant soldier fighting for the freedoms of Kenya. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. So this whole discussion that people are having of how to remove Ruto, in my humble opinion, it has to be a popular revolution where Ruto is removed along with his cabinet members, Gachagua and the rest of them, and MPs too. If we have to have an interim government by the military, let it be. But we cannot remove Ruto in any other way. For those of you who are waiting on IEBC, ngoja mtaona what will happen. Look, I remember I told you, there's a video that I played. Everything is unraveling as I said it. Because IEBC, that's where the mischief will be. It's always, that's why I keep on reminding you of this famous quote by Stalin. It is not the people who vote who decides who wins an election. It is the people who count the vote are the ones who decide the election. Okay? 2017, 2007, it was decided by the people who counted the vote. The governing body, Kivuitu. Then we had, after Kivuitu, who was it again? Hassan Omar, I think his name was. Hassan Omar. Then we had, it was Hassan Hussein or something. Omar Hussein or whatever the case is. Then it was Chebukati. Okay? So, the referee, okay? Mchezo nyi bado mnapigania the rules of the game, lakini kama referee alishapewa mhongo, the match has been decided. Nyote mtapewa red card na mtaona nani ameshinda. Those are the things that were being discussed in part of the Nyakundi's discussion, and I think we kind of talked about it here, but not, my view is only my view, and your view is just as valid as mine. So I understand the people who are saying, let's go after the let's constitute IBC, then let's get rid of these MPs, keep them on toes, and have them remove Ruto through an impeachment. I understand. I get it. It's okay. They're not wrong. Okay, it's not about who is wrong and right. I'm just saying I'm basing my opinion based knowing these MPs, how they upheld Lenturi to remain as a cabinet minister after overwhelming evidence of him being involved in the fertilizer debacle. Okay, these MPs, I don't expect them to actually impeach Ruto, because the same thing will happen. The motion will be brought forth na watu watapatiwa milioni kadhaa. I mean, Osama Otero was given a couple of million, and you saw he was abductee. So Ruto has enough money to ataenda kwa treasury achukue bilioni sijui kadhaa, 1 trillion, and he will buy everybody, including Azimio folks. So you won't impeach him. You won't. Hata mkilia huko. Si tulienda tukalia mambo ya nini, finance bill bado is still alive and well, and they are going to pass it. It's going to become law, and nobody knows that. Nobody's talking about that now, but it's going to happen. And even some of these MPs who are pretending now they are sorry, Osoro is not sorry, and he said he's not sorry. Most of them are not sorry. Then they're telling you. The few of them who are now wanaona maisha na kuwa ngumu, they can't move around the way they used to. That's now wanatoa ma speech kwa National Assembly, pretending to be listening to wananchi at all of a sudden they had a Damascus moment. Now they're pretending that they care. No, These people don't care. They don't care. Hata mkileta motion ya kuimpeach Ruto, they will be watapewa pesa 2 million each. 2 million, ama 3 million, or whatever the case million is, watapewa yao. Na wakishapewa, they'll vote. Watavote to keep Ruto. Alafu mtafanya nini? So that's why I'm saying, going through the parliament, yes, it's a good idea, but more than likely, I don't think it will work. This has to be a popular revolution. The people who, as you saw at Uhuru Park, those people are the ones who have to demand and march at the State House and remove Ruto and whole of his cabinet. That is the only way Ruto will resign. A sustained pressure through people in the ground. Hata ukiwa mtata alisema, in the struggle of liberation, the battleground is where? Is in the streets. Through peaceful protests. It's in the constitution. This is not illegal. Okay? Or, I think, end party, if military and run election. Yeah. I mean, ideally, we don't want to involve the military, but if that needs be, hiyo ndio kitu tutafanya. You know, we want a civilian rule, but if need be, that's what the new mahitaji, we shall get that. Okay? So that's why I say, we are not going to remove this guy, because all of this, 98% of the parliament, members of parliament, National Assembly, are corrupt, including senators. Okay? They are corrupt. You can't rely on them to impeach Ruto. They will not. They will not. They will not remove Ruto. No, they will not. I knew when Ruto came to the USA, there was going to be problems for the Kenyan people. Stay strong and stand up for your rights. Yes, get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Did you hear me? Get up, stand up. Hey, Dio, we have to. So that is what's happening. That's the discussion I hear people say. It will be interesting. I want to see where this Mandamano heads to, because from the road I saw, it's now turning into let's target these MPs, let's target the IBC office, because that's the next week's Oroda. And I want to see how effective that really is. It's a good idea, but will it work? Will it be effective? I do not know. I don't know. I have my suspicion. I don't think it will be much of a threat to Ruto directly. I think Ruto is somebody who has to be faced head on. Head on. Ruto si mtu unacheka naye, huyo ni jamaa mpaka you deal with him perpendicularly. Hakuna ati ile sijui. Yeah, so that's how I see it. But my view is just my view. You all, every other person also have their view. Si lazima, it's not just me who has my own view. So if you're wondering what's the Ninio, what's the next of let's see the Roma government. Let me see what Francis Gaido actually posted something really curious here that I want us to read and kind of go through. I think it was interesting, in my opinion. He posted something about Roman Empire, which let me just highlight it for a minute. Francis Gaito is a very funny guy. Okay, like the video, guys, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Kama Kawaida. Let me see. He wrote something 14 hours ago. He said, the Roman regime, if you can look at your screen, you can see it there from his page. I think it was interesting. He wrote, the Roman regime worked on a series of measures meant to keep the masses distracted from their corruption and malfeasance. One was public festivals and celebrations similar to what Boniface Mwangi and Hanifa are using donations to organize. When needed a PA, when we needed a PA system on June 25th to keep the crowds hyped, they didn't avail one despite having and still sitting on millions in your donation. When people wanted t-shirts, gas masks, water, food, transport, megaphones, they were nowhere to be seen. But now, degenerate and effed in the head celebrities who shy away from political economic discourse for fear that it will ruin their brands are being hawked into the public as the face of the resistance. There's a reason why, after almost 15 years, none of Boniface Mwangi's protests have yielded fruit. He has always been a state-sponsored hoodlum using protest to quell mass dissent. So here he highlights there's been a war. If you haven't been following the Twitter sphere wars, there's been a huge war between Gaitho and Hanifa and Boniface Mwangi. I love it. JPJ is telling us Gaitho is Kenya's Eric Cantman and shouldn't be taken seriously. I mean, he raises some good points. I mean, call him whatever you want. Then he highlights the number 2. Public festivals and celebration. The Roman government organized numerous public festivals, religious ceremonies, and celebrations throughout the year to provide opportunities for communal gatherings and entertainment. These events serve to foster a sense of community, reinforce cultural values, and create a shared identity among the populace. What I'm saying, what I want to say about what is his larger point, and that's why you remember that clip that I played in the first place, where they ask Boniface, Bonnie, who is funding this whole movement? And you saw how vague he was. And I've been saying this. I'm listening to a couple of politicians, especially from the opposition. I can see them now pushing for the BBI in bits. And they're saying that the Gen Z are fighting. In essence, they're saying that Gen Z are fighting for the things that BBI proposed, the NADCO report proposed. And if those things are passed and implemented, the Gen Zs will be off the streets tomorrow. This is what some politicians along some quarters are saying. And that's when it kind of hit me, and I was like, you know what? Who is paying for these concerts? Because now the focus is kind of coming away from Ruto must go. Don't get me wrong, the majority are still Ruto must go. But if you look at the order, it is now turning into, let's target the MPs, let's target Ninio. What's that called? The IBC. Let's target what office. Let's go sit on Thika Road. Let's go. The focus is not on Ruto anymore, even though majority of the people are still singing Ruto must go. Okay, but if you look at the organizers, remember the people whoever is writing that poster, he's getting money from somewhere. The t-shirts that are being made, they are being made with somebody's money. Yes, it's Kenyan people. I don't dispute that, but I'm just saying. It seems that we are veering off slowly and gradually of Ruto must go. Yes, we are singing that in the streets, Ruto must go, Ruto must go, Ruto must go, Ruto must go, but we are not facing him head on to take him out. Tuna cut corners. You're cutting corners, and we are starting to say, let's use the MPs, let's go to the IBC, let's go to the unaona tunaenda tu kando kando. That's what I'm saying. Gio is saying no one should trust former politicians, that's the funders, to take over the movement. Yes, that is possible. Gypsy saying there are some who are also hungry for money. Absolutely. Everyone has their own agenda. Kuna wale watu ambao wanataka, they're looking for clout. Kuna watu ambao they're looking at this as an opportunity. There are people, everyone has their own agenda in this movement. Yes. That's right, because strategy matters. Yes, strategies matter. Absolutely. We have to be clear and use a certain strategy to deal with the Ruto. Because as I see, me and Niliona too, when I had some people, I was like, there's something like. So who's cut your thumb? I was cutting Sukuma Wiki. Na hiyo kisu ikapita nga. And so, nice observation, Bruce. Like the video, subscribe. Excuse me, feature vidole. You guys are too observant. But anyway, I don't know why that's funny, but that's funny. Hey, coffee break. Like the video and subscribe. Like. So anyway, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The conversation we are having a very good conversation. Not only here, I'm just saying, like the people, the Kenyan people are having a good conversation. The Gen Zs are having a good conversation, because now it's almost as if we are at that stage where we are thinking, what's the next stage? What's the next step? How do we go about this? Is it going to be facing Ruto directly, or tunaanza hii mambo ya sijui let's target sijui MPs, sijui government official, these ministries, which I think is just, avoiding it's ni kama, we are avoiding the head of the ninio, the snake. Tunaendea mkia, tunaendea sijui miguu, which it can, it will be it's a nice strategy, but it's not going to kill the snake. Because the snake can always grow another leg, can always grow another tail, grow another skin. So if you don't go for the head, the snake will be right there. And that's my worry. That's my worry. So I saw your thumb before and I thought it was good. Ay. Ooh-wee. I will stay clear of them, my friend. I'm always, when I'm in public place, no matter where I am, I make the necessary, especially if I'm talking crazy like I'm talking to. So I have to watch out who I'm around and what's mpaka nijiangalie vizuri. But yeah, but anyway, that's what I was thinking. I think we are at that stage where we are thinking the best way of removing Ruto. And like I said, my linear is a popular variation. We have to go there and remove him. And other than that, guess what? We are going to end up to have a dialogue, as you had the guy who was talking, remember, who I played in the beginning of the video, said, anataka waongee. But again, last week we were just talking. Why should we talk to Ruto? We're already done with him. Ameua wakina Rex, ameua watu sijui ngapi. Why are we talking to him? Why are we talking to him? There's nothing to talk about. It's time for him to go. So, yeah, that's why we need to go for those two heads. Cut those two heads, and he will be done. He will be done. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies of comrades, I gave it 40 minutes for somebody to get in, but I think today, watu wamesema ni Sunday, tutatulia, which is fine. I also have to wrap it up. So, do me a favor, like the video, share, comment if you want. Tell me what you think, your strategy. What's the best way of dealing with Ruto? Until tomorrow, meet me here. I'm here daily. Subscribe, share, like, comment, and Ruto must go. Ama namna gani?